Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay, my dog wants to say hi. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Happy Thanksgiving. Say thank you. Say thank you for all the treats that they are giving to you. Say thank you. Say thank you to everybody, baby. Say thank you. Oh, you're thanking them, huh? You're showing them your face. Thank you. Say thank you. Say kamsamnida for all the treats you're giving me and for my travel fund. Show them your cute face as your way of saying thank you. Hi everybody. Okay, wait, my light is not so bright. One second. Is that better? Okay. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, one second. Are you comfortable, baby? Okay. Hello. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. Maayong adlaw. Good day. That's another language in the Philippines. That's not Filipino. I mean, that's Filipino, but that's not Tagalog. Okay, let's say hi to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Cindy, OSP, Army, Angel Star, Leah, Norwegian Wood, Carol, Michelle, Shelling, Donna, Cindy, Amy, A. Brown, Dean, Sarah, OT7, Robin Carr, Angel Star, Rebecca, Maritz, Jolly, Taryn, Reg Pear, Tehil, Just Me CDV. They're saying hi to you. Michelle, Leah, Cindy, A. Brown, Robin Carr. Okay. I think I've said hi to those. Reg Bear, Lorena is on Twitch. Amy, PZ, Miriam, Andy Big Night, Lara, Rebecca, Sylvia, Seda, Tehil, Golden James, Norwegian Wood, Leah, Linax, Happy Thanksgiving, Miriam, Reg Bear, Maria, Bang Luna, Andy Big Night, um, Mama Ja, Just the Tea Please, Leah, Lady Pink, Eliza, Letitia, and Ozzy, Christy. Hi. Oh, your face is getting covered. We can't let that happen. You're the highlight of this live stream, baby. Mm. Say hi. Wishing everyone in the US happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here, who keeps on supporting me, who are participating in the community, helping me in growing the community. Thank you to everyone who's been suggesting, giving their recommendations, um, just giving me general feedback altogether. I'm so thankful for having all of you. I really wouldn't know what I would have done without you guys, literally this year. You have been my lifeline. You just don't know that. But you truly are literally my lifeline this year. So thank you so much. You're good for everything in my life, including my mental health. So thank you for always being here. And I hope that in my way, I'm also able to entertain you guys. You may not learn something substantial or anything, but at the very least, I hope that for an hour, 2 hours, or 15 minutes, some days through my videos, you're entertained. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I have always been blessed with people in my life. I always have been. Almost all the problems that I've had, those were caused by me. The people in my life have always been great. So I don't know. I keep on getting blessed, and I'm so thankful for that. Um, Thank you for teaching us. Well, I hope I am. I'm trying my best to be as useful as I can. I remember, um, I don't know where I read it or if it was a professor or a mentor who told me that I should strive to make my life like a toilet paper, long and useful. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just make my life long and useful. Or even if it is short, just as long as it is useful. So I'm trying that. I hope that to a certain degree I am succeeding. Okay, so I just want to take it easy today because I just realized it is Thanksgiving. And then the other thing is for the numbers, the sales reports for their branding and for their brand partnership. I am waiting for two more. I'm waiting for the initial report from McDonald's. A friend of mine might have some initial dibs on that. And then for tier, so I will postpone that to Monday. So just as so you know, toilet paper, yeah. Compostable, correct. Yeah, so that you can still be recycled to be something else. Yeah. That's what that I can't remember if it was a quote that I read or a mentor who told me that, or maybe a professor. Make your life similar to a toilet paper, long and useful. Okay, so going back for that number, I will postpone it to Monday because there's going to be a live stream on Friday. Um, Unless, well, I guess I should do a survey, right? Because many of you will most likely be with your families, right? So I'll do a survey. If you guys want to postpone it another day, Saturday or Monday or whenever, I'll just do let's keep that malleable because I do, yeah, I kind of, most of you are going to be spending it with your family. So all right, so that's for Friday. But for the statistics on their brand and sales report, I'm just waiting for initial reports from McDonald's. And then I think my will be able to get some initial dibs on that. And then some numbers on tier partnership, and also some insights on their luxury brand partnerships. So I'll be in food coma by Friday. Okay, so I'll put up a survey, like a question, um, a poll, and then if you guys want to postpone it another Monday or sorry, Tuesday or Thursday or another day, then that's fine. That live stream is for you guys, so that is okay. All right. Out of the country, a regular Friday in Mexico City. Gracias. Okay. So we'll be covering, I think, three topics. One is very short because this is just an issue that has been covered by just an issue brewing in the Korean side of the fandom, because there are certain reporters that they feel will start something about BTS. A survey in Patreon, yes, and I'll also do a survey in um, YouTube. So for you guys, so if you're a member of my YouTube community, you can post in YouTube community. So just so you know, you can post there as well. But I'll do a survey on both just because I think there are some who's not on my Patreon, but they are in my YouTube community. So I'll do a survey on both. The late Christopher Hitchens said, "Never preach, have a conversation. People are smarter than you think." You do that well. Thank you. Well, that is also, one of the things that I've always strived to do. My goal in life is to be the dumbest person in the room. That's my constant goal, to be the dumbest person in the room. Whenever I hire somebody, I always hire someone or look for someone that is smarter than I am. That has been so that I'm always at an advantage because I learn from those people. So that's something that I always try to do, to be the dumbest person in the room. I always try to hire someone smarter than I am so that I learn from them. I always assume that people are smarter than I am when I talk, and I always assume everyone is my equal. And you'd be surprised with the things that you will find from people. One of the learnings that I've got throughout the years is that the person you're talking with may not know everything that you know, but they know something that you don't. So so if you assume that, you'll be surprised with the amount of things that you learn. um, and then the other thing is that I also do understand that not all smart people are articulate. There are some people that are very, very smart, and they just don't have the right vocabulary um, to express what it is that they want. So you kind of do need some patience when you're talking to people. And once you do, you'll be surprised. Let's stay calm, supportive, and excited, everyone. Yeah, let's stay calm, supportive, and excited. So one of the things that I have been um, constantly asked this last several days have been, if I and so I'll just answer this here. Is my Jong video an attempt to ease off the pressure and the criticism that Are You Sure season 2 is gonna get? No, that was my intention. I have no illusion that I can affect anybody, the minds of anybody who's trying to hate on Are You Sure season 1 or season 2. I don't have that illusion. Okay. Um, I know that those that are going to hate on the show will hate on the show regardless. I mean, whenever either of them, Jungkook or Jimin, would go on a live stream and just briefly mention each other's name. If Jungkook mentions Jimin, if Jimin mentions Jungkook, you can see the firestorm on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, everywhere. And that's just mentioning each other's name. And you know that it is for those duo specifically because Jin constantly mentions Jungkook's name. You know that's his guy. That's Jungkook is Jin's baby, and so he would constantly mention Jungkook's name. He constantly mentioned Jungkook in his own show, Ransok Jin. You don't see Jungkook biases or Taekook biases waging war against Jin because he mentioned Jungkook's name. So you know, it's like RM would mention Jungkook's name. Nobody says anything. It's only when Jimin mentioned Jungkook or Jungkook mentions Jimin that there is a firestorm. So you know that there's something there. So no, I don't have any illusion of defending the show or easing up the pressure. I don't have that power. I'm not that smart. I'm not that sophisticated or articulate to even know that. I did that video simply because I wanted to do that video. So, and people will interpret that video the way that they interpret that they want to interpret that video. Everybody who's trying to defend me, I appreciate it. You don't have to just let them. I do see the analytics behind it, so I absolutely have no reason to worry. So just let them. It's a free country for as long as now. If they are saying something to me, I don't get easily offended. Just let them do it. If they're saying something to you that you feel is overboard and I am not seeing it, I'm just leaving it there. Just let me know and I'll take it down. As I've mentioned in the last live stream, if a criticism is directed towards me, I usually don't mind. I've heard them all at this stage. But usually the ones that I delete would be not really, but it's defamation against other people that are leaving a comment. So, but the other thing is that if they are just expressing their opinion, how no matter how strongly they may be doing it, if for as long as they're just expressing their opinion, then I will leave it up. If they say something overboard, then yeah, that's when I'll consider if it is something against you. But if it's something against me, I just let them let them do it. Um, you know, give it their best shot. Do your worst. I usually don't delete. So I can't remember the last time. I used to. I actually learned from one experience. It was but then from then on I learned. It was a video I did for and it was the height of the like racist accusations on everyone and stuff. And so someone called me a racist, and then people started coming, and and I decided to, okay, I'm going to redo the video. But then I realized after that, nah, you can call me whatever it is that you want. For as long as it's not true, I don't mind. Okay. Fairlene's content is too highbrow for willfully. Thank you, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. So for if it is directed at you, if they are defaming you, let me know. I will read it, and if I do think that it is too much, I'll take it down. If it is against me, just let them do it. They can call me racist, but whatever is that they want to call, I'm good. Let them do it. It doesn't really affect me. I've mentioned to you guys before that I actually dated a narcissist, and the reason I dated a narcissist is because he's a narcissist. I want to check. I want to see how it was going to affect my mentality. Did not affect me at all. So from then on, I kind of realized I do have a very strong mental disposition. So things like that won't affect me. But thank you for defending me, though. Okay, what's going on? Why the hate against our boys recently? Okay, let's talk about that. So there is this guy who calls himself a culture critic, and he was the one of the strongest and loudest voices during the height of the sugar controversy, the scooter controversy. And now he said in someone interviewed him, and he said in that interview what you are seeing now on screen. So let me see if I have a bigger, I think I have a bigger there. So this is what he said. Public sentiment about the drunk driving vary significantly abroad compared to Korea, where it is viewed as a serious offense, especially among celebrities. This is him talking, the quote unquote culture critic. Moreover, BTS's popularity extends far beyond Korean fan bases. With a substantial international following, it would likely be more detrimental than beneficial for the agency to consider expelling Suga from the group. However, Jung noted that it would be, if strictly impossible, that's why he said strictly impossible for the 31-year-old star and his agency to regain the trust of disappointed Korean fans if he continues his activities as a member. Okay, so this is a direct quote. This is exactly what he said. He will still have to wait for the result of the police investigation. However, not only did he drive drunk, but he also repeatedly provided misleading explanation, which has deeply disappointed Korean fans. Even if all the members complete their service and a full group activities resume, public opinion in Korea will likely remain negative as long as Suga continues to be active. Okay. So now I'm not quite sure why this quote suddenly re-emerged, but it did. And so he started defending himself on X and on Facebook, I believe, and on some forums on South Korea. And he said that never did he say he should drop out, that Suga should drop out of BTS. Um, which, in all fairness to him, he did not say that. He implied it, but he did not say that directly. So I guess those are two different things. But okay, so he was saying like I never said that and whatever. Okay, so now they some are speculating that this actually came to be because a lot of journalists are now journalists and culture critic, which by the way, I have an issue with that name, with that profession, culture critic. But anyway, um a lot of Koreans feel that the negative campaign is about to start, because and they think it's going to start right around January. So they think that more scandals are going to start. More journalists are going to start writing some stuff about BTS. A lot of people think that many of these journalists and many of these marketing companies that have been paid by other people to defame BTS will most likely start using AI to generate videos to implicate BTS on different things. And this is the beginning because he suddenly re-emerged. I don't know why. So just a warning that that's most likely going to happen. So when you start seeing videos that you know should not be seen, block those people. And the only acceptable response is that true or not, it's none of our business. If it is their romantic life, dating life, if they're married with 7 children, it's none of our business, right? So just tell them if someone's like, oh, he's dating and whatever. So it's none of our business. If it's dating, good for him. Okay. So anyway, going back to him, another reason you dislike AI. So this is the so this is where I'm coming from. He still doesn't seem to grasp the fact that the fandom is different. He doesn't seem to still grasp if he is, and he seems to be Korean. He doesn't still understand that army is different. I think he can still, um, can they sue AI generated videos? They can. Yeah, they can sue AI generated videos if it defames the artist in the end. But do remember that, because a lot of the when you edit a video, for example, a lot of people are actually using AI to enhance an existing video or photo. The logo of the app will still appear. For as long as you put anything through AI, that logo is going to be there. You can erase that logo, but it's going to be there. Um, so they can actually, this AI people can say that, oh, we just edited that using AI, but the original photo is real. Doesn't matter. The only, for us on our end, the only acceptable answer is true or not. It's none of our business. Dating or not dating, none of our business. Okay, going back to him. So if the person doesn't understand at the very least the concept of loyalty in the army fandom, I don't know if you can even call that person a culture critic. And what kind of culture are they critiquing? Are they critiquing the culture of army? I don't understand. Like what I I don't like. I don't I am against in general. There are certain things in a culture that we can objectively critic, especially if it actually harms people, right? I mean, if you are marrying off children, I think that's worth criticizing, right? Now, other practices, or if you're like like it's okay in your country to murder people, in your culture to murder people for no reason at all, I think those are worth critiquing. But other than that, I think, let the culture evolve on its own. Leave that to those people. But anyway, going back to him, if he does not understand the culture within army and BTS, then what business does he have being a critic at all? So, and here in his initial comment, it is very clear he does not understand armies, and he does not understand the relationship of BTS and armies. Okay. So his defense is that I never said that he should leave. I'm just saying that it's going to be difficult for him to stay. Like they will not regain the public trust unless he leaves. Okay. Which has been proven to be wrong from the get-go. Um, but the problem is that he is passing off his speculation, because that's not an opinion, that's a speculation. He's passing off his speculation as an opinion, and then now going back into what he said and saying I never said he should leave or whatever, when in fact the very next day, right after that controversy started, he was already proven wrong. He was already proven wrong because songs of Suga entered the chart right the next day. And it stayed there for days as an effort of armies to communicate to Suga that we are still here behind him. So there is a difference between an opinion and a speculation. An opinion cannot be proven. A speculation may be proven or disproven. An opinion cannot be proven or disproven. For example, if I say, baby, I think I'm numb. My legs are numb. Okay, let me just reposition my legs. Okay. Okay, you comfortable? Okay, so for example, an opinion is this. If I say I think had Suga been 6'5" or 6'6", and had he been that tall, he's going to be a better player than LeBron James. Let's assume that's what I said. I'll say that. That's an opinion because there's just absolutely no way I can prove it, right? There might be some approximation, but absolutely prove or disprove it, you can't, because he's never going to be 6'5", even if he goes through that crazy bone surgery that they do nowadays. You can't. So that is an opinion. Or if I say she's prettier because beauty is very, very subjective, that's an opinion. Because there's no way for you to disprove me. You can approximate whether I'm wrong or right, but you can't disprove what I said. Speculation is if it can be proven or disproven. And what he said has been disproven. He said that it would be impossible for the public to trust him, for armies to trust him, for the fans to trust him, the group, unless he leaves. He was proven the very next day when when many of his songs actually charted. Okay. Now, but he won't back down on it. So remember, this is what he said. That it would be strictly impossible for the 31-year-old star and his agency to regain the trust of disappointed Korean fans, if he continues his activities as a member. Okay. So, but then Suga's songs hit #1 worldwide the very next day. So he was wrong from the get-go. Now, this is what he has been saying. So, where in the tweet did I say you should leave the team? That's predicting that it would be hard to regain public trust if you don't withdraw, and that the domestic activities wouldn't go smoothly, mean that I'm telling you to leave the group. So, he did not say it was a prediction. It was a speculation. He was assuming it. It's going to be strictly impossible. He did not say, I am predicting. Not that it's going to change anything. But because he has been quoted and retweeted and also quoted on Facebook, he has been defending himself relentlessly. And a lot of K armies are assuming that he's going to start writing negative things about BTS, and he's going to reframe every success of BTS to be cheating. He's going to start questioning their achievements, all in an effort to prove himself correct, because he has been proven wrong. So be ready for many of these journalists and critics and fans to reframe any kind of achievement that BTS is going to have to be manipulated or bought or wrong in some form or another. Okay, do you want to go down? Do you want to go down? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. Say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you. He's asking me to scratch his chest. Okay. Scratch, scratch. Okay. Bye bye. He's very cute. He knows it. He knows he is cute. Oh, you don't want to go down? But you were already fidgeting here. Okay. Okay, so people are gonna, so that's what they are assuming, that there will be more journalists that will start writing, journalists that will start writing stuff against BTS. They will reframe any kind of success. Sorry, do you hear that? My dog is scratching the phone. Okay, done. All right. So you can block him. I've already blocked him. I actually don't see what he is saying. It was just getting sent to me. I think my filtering of my timeline is still in place. So I say let him. We can prove him wrong till we are blue in the face. People like him won't budge. Yeah. So this is just a warning. So most likely AI stuff, AI videos, AI photos, text messages are going to start resurfacing, or not resurfacing, but surfacing in the next several weeks. I've always said that the closer we get to the comeback, then all this mushrooms, or bad mushrooms, are going to start popping up. So he's starting it. The that one TV station will try to their dumb. Ah, yeah, JTBC. It was drug scooting. Yeah, and then the drunk driving, DUI, is taken very seriously here in the US, but it kind of is a little bit more nuanced, because we've had a lot of celebrities who's gotten into drunk driving. They've been able to come back, right? There are a lot of celebrities who's actually committed a crime who managed to come back. So it is taken seriously in that you can go to jail for that. You really can go to jail for that. And there have been people who have gotten fired because of that. But not not if you are driving a scooter. that's that's just that's just crazy. um okay, I just don't understand what they're getting out of it. Well, actually, that was my point, that I think a lot of these people are really just hating on BTS, because they know, I mean, if they have any sliver of objectivity, they would know that there's the only people that can really destroy BTS relationship with armies would be BTS. It won't be journalists. It would be BTS. They are the only ones who can destroy it. So, but not them. So please pray for Hong Kong fire accident. So many, yeah, I heard this thing about Hong Kong is several people already died. So please pray for Hong Kong. Why do they have it out for BTS? I know, right? I mean, it's supposed to be a group that's bringing honor to your country. Okay, let's go to something, business side of things. The scooter thing is ridiculous, and he didn't run over anyone. It's sad. Sugar and all of this. Okay, driving a scooter on a sidewalk feet away from his home. Is it because Big Hit won't clap back? Um, maybe a Big Hit and Hype in general have been unwilling to use the same strategies that other agencies have been using. SM has been proven to hire a reverse marketing company, and that's something that BTS don't do, or Big Hit does not do, or Hype does not do. So it could be that, yeah. Yeah, it could be that. Okay, let's go to something a little bit more positive, and then we'll go into the detailed itinerary for the BTS pilgrimage. Okay. Okay. So um Samsung, the Samsung, uh, opened an ETF. So an ETF is a group of a bundle, a basket of money that tracks something. Like, for example, it can track AI technologies, or it can track a group of assets, for example. This is in relation to a stock market. So that's what an ETF is. Now, Samsung opened an ETF that will track entertainment companies in Korea. So it's not just K-pop, it's K-act. Okay. So what they do is they pull money from different people, And then the ETF, that whoever is heading that investment basket will invest that money across different companies. So since this is K-ACT or Korean culture based ETF, then they are going to invest the money in different Korean related, Korean culture related services and products. Okay, so that's what it does. I hope that is like clear to everybody who's not really into stock market. So it's big because it is being spearheaded by Samsung. Okay, so they put in a lot of their own money, and then others can put in their own money as well. A lot of celebrities, for example, would actually do an ETF instead of individually investing in a stock. So, because one reason is that it's just easier that way. Somebody else is managing your money who has all the tools, statistics and apps that they can use to analyze the movement of whatever. So that's one reason. The other reason is that they have complete deniability as to where their money is. You know how it is in Korea, everyone is extra critical of celebrities. Anything that they remotely get involved in, they get dragged, they get criticized, even though they have absolutely no involvement in that thing. And so when you are investing in ETF, you can just say that, well, it is being managed by somebody else. So I don't know where exactly my money is. Number two, you're not concentrated on one asset, you're concentrated across different assets. So for this one, it's across different Korean cultural related services and products. Okay. And it's being spearheaded by Samsung. Now they presented their case. Okay, and the biggest takeaway for many of armies is that they are saying that the biggest driver for 2026 would be BTS, and the biggest investment that they have is on Hybe and Netflix. Okay, so they mentioned BTS about 10 times in that entire presentation, and they kept on saying that it is, the comeback of BTS is going to be a big thing, that they are going to continuously affect Korean culture and Korean exports, not just sales on their albums and their concerts. They are going to affect Korean culture in general. Okay. And they are saying that even so it's Netflix, their two biggest investments are Netflix and Hybe, but the biggest one is still Hybe. Okay. So let's go through some of the details that they presented. Okay, so this is the article. Just wanted to show it to you, just in case you want to check it out yourself. But I summarized it for you. The guy, good. The boys must feel so stressed. Maybe everyone is looking at them. Probably. Okay, so K-ACT culture. K-ACT Global K Culture ETF. So K Culture ETF is actually how they are calling it. So Samsung's asset management press conference. This is where they discuss the ETF. They do this for international investors, for local investors, but the end goal is to attract more money to come in their ETF. Okay. Okay, so now they said that Korea K culture used to be nationalistic, that it's all about strengthening their culture, strengthening their own communities, making sure that they have that the country is supporting their own products, that they are improving their own products, but it has gone global. Okay, just 4 to 5 years ago, any attempt to highlight Korean culture was criticized as overtly nationalistic. Today, K culture isn't just Korean anymore. It's a global cultural category, according to Samsung. I would argue that it's more than 4 to 5 years ago. But anyway, this is their presentation. Okay, they admitted that K-pop did the heavy lifting, but the wave now includes K-food, K-beauty, K-fashion, K-content, and all the global platforms that benefit from these industries. And Samsung believes that the growth is big enough to treat K-culture as a full investments ecosystem. Okay, This is important for BTS because before BTS, when you say K culture, when you say K culture, it is clearly delineated across different industries. You have food, you have beauty, you have fashion, and then you have content. Under content, that is where BTS is going to fall. Sorry, K-pop is going to fall under. So when they say, okay, what's the economic contribution of K-pop or K entertainment in general, it's so isolated because it does not really affect anything else. And then BTS came and they started affecting everything else. Whenever Jungkook mentions any kind of food, it sells out. Whenever they go to any kind of place, other armies go there. Whenever they have a concert, armies from all over the world would actually swarm Korea, go to different BTS locations and visit there. And so now about that very first um, Yonde report talking about the economic contribution of BTS was a landmark study. A lot of people don't recognize this as such, but it was a landmark study because it was the first time an actual institution, financial institution, measured the ripple effect of a K-pop group to trace their effect across different economic segments. So from there, it kind of opened the eyes of many financial institutions in Korea and different businesses in Korea and different journalists, financial journalists, kind of opened their eyes and realized, oh, okay, it is possible for one K-pop group to affect the economy of a country. Okay, so that was a landmark study. That study was so important, and that's why it made such a noise because it was the first time it was done. Okay, and even in other countries like musical acts, they would be discussed, their economic effect would be discussed, but this is the first time when it was so clearly laid out how they measured it. And and this is actually one of the tips that I'm going to give you. Even before um, all of this like studies, economic studies started, it was actually armies who started really manually putting the name of BTS whenever they use the immigration card when they come in Korea. Like this just we're not just going to say travel or whatever. They actually manually write BTS. That's how they were able to trace. A huge part of the reason they were able to trace that would be what many armies actually started doing. Okay, so they're saying that the COAC Global K Culture Value Chain Active ETS is the first ETF in Korea designed to invest across entire K culture ecosystem. So it's not just entertainment companies, they're also investing in cosmetics, foods, services, different industries related, fashion, anything that BTS, or sorry, not BTS, but um, Korean Hallyu Wave will affect. They are investing in that. Okay. Um, okay. Next. I'm late. I was taking a nap. It's okay. It's nice to take a nap, huh? So it will include entertainment companies, beauty and skincare, food and global F&B companies, streaming platforms, retail, K content and K culture adjacent global companies. And so that is why many of BTS members are being used by cosmetic companies and beauty companies to start penetrating the North American market. Clear example would be Jin and V. Jin was used by Jin Ramen to get into Costco. And once you get into Costco, everything is kind of easier for you. Now, it's not to say that Jin Ramen has not been distributed in the US. They have absolutely been distributed in the US, but they have been distributed in Asian markets, in Asian groceries. Now they are being distributed in even in American groceries, including Costco. Okay, so that's one clear example how a BTS member is being used to penetrate the global market. Another clear example would be V, tier. They were very vocal about it. They said that they actually stated that the reason they got V was to make it easier for them to get into the international market. So the other view, the other point of view is that even local companies, local to South Korea, they feel that they now have the ability to go global, primarily because they have a BTS member with them. Okay. Okay. All right. When is this ETF ready to buy? They've already opened it, but I think they are opening. So usually when an ETF opens, it's gonna take some time before it ripples. So it's already open, but yeah, it's already open, but it just give it some time before it actually opens for the public. Okay. Um, it usually take about like a month before it becomes available for more. Okay. Now Samsung's strategy would be two engines. So meaning they're kind of splitting their investment into two different segments: K culture and global platforms. Platforms would be technologies, Weverse, Netflix, that's a platform. Okay, stuff like that. So they're going to split it into two. Now, they said that one of the reasons they started this is because of K pop demon hunters. They said that Korean voice actors were used in this movie twice, sang the OST, and yet not a single Korean company meaningfully profited from it. Right. And he's kind of correct, right? Because it is true. No Korean company actually profited from it because it was produced by Netflix, and all the proceeds, well, it was produced by Sony, sold to Netflix. So there is no, aside from the actors who are employees, not investors in the material itself, there is no direct benefit for Korean companies. So they kind of realized that, okay, that K-pop Demon Hunters is very Korean. They used K-pop production design, everything is K-pop. So from Korea, but not a single Korean company benefited from it. Now, many are going to ask, well, before them there was BTS, but for BTS there was a Korean company benefiting from them, right? Hybe and them. So, BTS themselves. But for K-pop Demon Hunters, this people, the actors were not getting as much of a residual as BTS was getting and still getting from their own music and performances. Okay, so that kind of, they said, was a wake up call. They realized, okay, it's spreading. People are using K-pop and Korean culture, but then it's starting to happen that they are not benefiting from it. The only big winner is the National Museum of Korea because the film's lore drove visitors to the National Museum of Korea. And I think it is free. I think the National Museum of Korea is free. You can go there, you just need to schedule, I think. So he said that it was a wake up call that K culture is winning globally, but Korea isn't always capturing the revenue. So they said that this cannot happen again. We have to be the primary beneficiaries of anything related to Korea. So this ETF is meant to plug that gap by investing in the platforms that monetize K culture globally. So since Netflix is the one that is benefiting from this thing, then they should invest in these platforms. Does that make sense? Now, this actually made me realize what BTS, what Big Hit strategy was in releasing Begins Youth in this streaming only platform, right? So they use for those that are not clear about their setup, for the Begins Youth, the drama, the prequel to the entire Save Me universe or Wayang Yonwa universe, that was only streamed in one platform. And I think the goal of this platform is to become some sort of a Netflix for of the future, where every stream is traceable to one person. Okay. So but I think that's a preparation that they would require years of, because having 500,000 people streaming that one material is one thing versus 2 million people streaming one show. Okay. So I remember everything is better with Te, Suga, and Cookie. Fairlane, isn't Netflix in perpetual deficit like other streaming platforms? I think they gained their first positive one in 2023, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I know, so Spotify was in deficit for more than 10 years. 2023 was when they first, sorry, 2024 was when they first hit positive. I think Netflix hit it 2023. Yeah. And that was after they introduced ads. I think their lowest tier already has ads. And then right after they bumped up their adult content. How unfortunate. Okay. Um I will check the accuracy of the dates, but I can check after. And that is why KDPH was played on US radio and why they are nominated for the Grammys. Don't be surprised if they win. Yes, so that is why, because it is backed by a US company, produced by a US company. The writer was a Canadian Korean, I believe, or American Korean. So that was the main reason it got the attention of the North American executives, because it was backed by an American company. But they are sort of saying, okay, this is not going to stop. People are just going to continue doing this. They will produce content inspired by Korean culture, Korean music, and they really cannot stop that, and they won't be able to do anything about it. And so Samsung's solution is to actually invest on those platforms. Does that make sense to you? They feel like Netflix is going to continue doing this. They're gonna get like half American, half Korean investor, or half American, half Korean director or writer, and then pass it on as a Korean content. But all the benefits will go to Netflix. Um, so they're saying that they can't stop it. Samsung is saying we can't stop them from doing that, but they will. Their solution is to just invest in these companies because they can't stop it. Okay, so now think about that, because it's interesting how they are approaching it. Because Hyde's approach has been to, okay, we're going to plant ourselves in the North American market, in other Asian countries, in European countries. We're going to plant ourselves there so that we will be the ones to produce the content. We will be the ones to create Korean content that is based on Korean culture. The foundation is based on Korean culture, and then distribute it internationally. Samsung's solution, at least for this ETF, I'm not saying that this is their only solution, but at least for this, they're saying, okay, we can't stop them. So we're just going to invest in them so that we will benefit from it. So interesting, right? Okay. All right. So they're saying that the biggest winner has been the National Museum of Korea, because the lore actually pushed people to visit the National Museum of Korea. National Museum of Korea has a partnership with HYBE, by the way. Okay, so he said that K culture is winning globally, but Korea isn't always capturing the revenue. This ETF is meant to plug that gap between the two. Now, their biggest investments have been to HYBE 15%, Netflix 15%, YG, JYP, SM. So YG 7%, JYP 6%, SM Entertainment 4%. They're also invested in Spotify, Webtoon Entertainment, Naver Webtoon, Sony, Costco, and Alta Beauty. Before we go into Costco and Alta Beauty, so 30% of that ETF is invested in HYBE and Netflix. So 15-15 for the two biggest. The rest 764. Smallest SM Entertainment, which I thought was very interesting, but um, I think I would switch JYP and YG if it were me, but this is just my opinion. 6% JYP and YG, so I would put 7% on JYP, or maybe even 8, and then put 5 on YG and 4 on SM Entertainment. Primarily because at the very least, SM Entertainment has their grip in the Asian market very, very strongly. So they know the Asian market strongly, and they know the local market strongly, and they have the right connections and all of those stuff. So, you know, that's why they are earning some money. And then I would probably put YG dead last because they have been, without their manipulation, it, they wouldn't go anywhere. So, but that's just me. They are heavy on entertainment, correct? Yes. Okay. Now, Hybe, I think the reason they are able to invest that much on Hybe is the nature of the multi-label system. Aside from, and they are so diverse in their investment. They have investments in their labels, they have investments in technology, so they have IPs, AI, all of those pieces. And so it kind of makes sense because they're not just investing in the labels as you would if you're investing in SMYJ and JYP. If you invest in Hype, you're investing in all of those things. Okay. When is our investment group starting? Okay. Next. So Costco and Alta, it's because these are the two biggest distributors of K Foods and K Beauty. So Costco would be K Foods and then K Beauty for Alta. That is why they invested in that. So in other words, they don't think K culture is only a niche. It's more like an actual industry in and of itself. Now, it is true. Alta is actually distributing a lot of the Korean products. Sephora carries some Korean products, but they're still predominantly American products. So I think that's why they pushed it to Alta. Now, it would be interesting to see when Olive Young here is going. I'm actually excited for that. When Olive Young is going to open, because then they are going to distribute a lot of Korean products in the US. And I do think that there is a clamor for Korean products simply because they are very effective. Let's see what they're going to do, if they're going to invest in that or not. It might be a careful investment. They might go slow on that, considering Olive Young is going to be very young in the US. Just if they open in 2026, that's just a year old. It would be interesting to find out how much of the beauty market SK has appropriated. Hybe, Latin America is growing. I have hope maybe in some time they become big and I can invest here in Mexico. I hope, I hope, I hope. How are they doing? How are they doing? Because I'm seeing some narrative that they're not doing well in Latin America. How are they doing, Santos Bravos? I tried to invest. Okay, when I looked for tier, it was at Sephora. It was not at Sephora, but found in Alta. So I think, I don't know. I still feel that Sephora is very much like Western still in the way, in the products that they carry. But who knows? If you have enough people clamoring for it. Will they change the allocations? They said yes, they will be actively rotating their investments. So they want to invest it across K-pop, K-food, K-beauty, and K-fashion. They want to adjust the weights depending on which sector is gaining global traction. And they will lean heavily into Catalyst, including BTS's comeback next year in 2026, rising US interest in K-fashion. He believes entertainment stocks are undervalued right now because Q3 earnings disappoint the market. Okay. So if you would remember, Hybe actually reported a loss in their net profit, in their net revenue. They had record breaking gross revenue, but negative profit, net revenue, primarily because they reinvested it in so many things. Latin America, they're preparing for BTS comeback. They are going to debut another group in the US. They opened Hybe Latin America, sorry, not Latin America, India. And of course, they are bumping up their activities in Japan, and they are preparing for so many things here in their home country in South Korea. Source Music and B Lift Lab will both launch a new group, and Pledis in 2026. I think for Source Music, they're going to launch a girl group, and I think Pledis as well, both girl groups. And then B Lift Lab is going to launch another group, or at the very least start preparing. And then you have Adore. Adore also held an audition, so I'm assuming that they are already training their new group. Um, and Big Hit also had their global audition. And we know that based on Big Hit's reputation, they usually train like it takes them 6 years to to debut another group. So let's see what's going to happen. My God, how old am I gonna be with that time? Um, okay, so I'm the one. I'm one of those who bought tier because of V, but it happens to be really good quality. Oh, good. I wasn't able to go to the pop-up store just because of personal reasons, but it's in Alta, so I'll just go. I bought Lane because of Jin, and I really love it. The thing with me is that I don't use any kind of, I only use virgin coconut oil. That's about it. Now, they said that for BTS, it's actually, sorry, going back to this. So, in relation to BTS and why they are going to up their investments in Hybe, they said that, of course, falling stocks is actually good. When stocks fall, that's when you buy, which is true. When things crash, that's when you buy, especially with BTS returning as a full group. They know that everything is undervalued, but their advice, stock goes down, you buy, you don't sell. Because it's usually the opposite for a lot of people. They see stock going up, they sell. And then they see stock going up, then they buy. It should be the opposite. When you see it going down, that's when you buy, so that you have opportunities for gain. The only thing is that, so for example, I bought I bought a lot of, not a lot, but some, not a lot. I bought some Tesla when it was down. Remember that time when all stocks were down? I bought some Tesla. So I bought it really cheap, like super cheap compared to its price right now. And then it went to right now, like I don't know how much it is, like 400 or something. And I'm looking at how much I bought it for and the price now. I'm like, should I buy? but I think it's going to go to 1,000 anyway. So they said that falling stocks, that's when you actually should buy, especially with BTS's returning as a full group. They predict that Hybe stock is going to go up. It's probably going to exceed its all-time high, and that's my prediction. It's going to go over its all-time high. So how do they choose what they want to invest in? 5-year potential growth. So it's not short term, it's medium term for them. Unique or semi-monopoly position in the market. So any K-culture related company that has some sort of a monopoly or unique positioning, they are going to invest in. And then ability to generate measurable returns. So for example, um, this is just an example. And any kind of AI company that can generate um, Korean view for movies. This is not true, but I'm just saying, if that company is unique enough, they feel okay, that positioning is enough, they're providing a unique need, then they are going to invest in that company. So that's one of the things that they actually look into. And then 5 years growth and ability to generate measurable return. Okay. Spam bot. Okay. Um, would where is that? Would the K media manipulate to have Hype stock fall so they can buy low? That's possible. That happens a lot in the US. That happens a lot in the US. I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of our senators and congressmen, whenever they would constantly do this, they'll shit talk Elon Musk and Tesla. Stocks go low, it drops, they buy, and then they keep quiet, and then it's gonna go up again. When they feel like, okay, I have enough gains, they should talk him again, goes down. It's a cycle. so so yeah, that's very possible, very very possible. And then the representative of Samsung actually specifically cited BTS full group comeback, and he mentioned this many times. He mentioned BTS so many times in that presentation. Cat's Eye US traction, global mainstreaming of spicy global mainstreaming of spicy ramen, This is in relation to Jin Ramen. And he personally sees K food as the next breakout category. The way Jin was able to carry Jin Ramen in the US is nothing short of remarkable. Nothing short. The branding is just so perfect together that he was able to exceed all expectations. So Jin Ramen is now being carried by all Costco groups, and it already has been in Ralph's for quite some time, but it has expanded. Ralph has actually expanded its buy on Jin Ramen. So BTS, so those are the three catalysts, he said, for the um, bull run of the bull run is when the stock goes up. Bear would be when it's going down. If they say it's a bear market, it means it's going down. If they say there's a bull run, it means the stock is going up. So they said that the catalyst for the bull run for Korean related stocks would be this three: BTS, Cat's Eye, and food. You're still waiting for my tuna. I'm still waiting for my tuna. Looking for gin tuna too. Yes, insider trading. Insider trading. They do that a lot. They do that a lot. That's why our senators are so rich. Senators, congressmen, they do that a lot. I am sort of surprised that like media doesn't write about, but why will they write about it? They also benefit. But anyway, K-pop is particularly strong because of revenue diversification. So before, analysts used to measure entertainment revenue with basic formula. This was before BTS. If they want to see how K-pop is going to do, or K entertainment, they look at number of concerts, number of attendees, and ticket prices. Those are the three measures. But ever since BTS, things have expanded. Their platform has expanded. BTS expanded it to YouTube, streaming platforms, digital platforms, fan messaging, like Weverse, merch, licensing, collaborations, global touring, IP expansion, games, webtoons, musicals, shirts, merchandise, all of those things. So because of all of this, because they're not limited to concerts, number of concerts, ticket prices, and attendees, that is how K-pop crossed over becoming a niche industry into becoming a mainstream investment industry because of that, because of the expansion of the business. And again, who started that? Hype. Merch was a big point. Only companies with big fandoms like Hybe, SMG, YP, and YG can monetize merch at scale. And even though profitability fluctuates, the multiple revenue channels and multiple group fan retention give K-pop long-term stability. So it is a big thing that it's not just BTS. There are others who are bringing in money. The only thing is that no other agency has been able to master the manipulation and management of their IP in order to open I, revenue opportunities using those IPs. And when I say IP, it's not just the songs, it's not just the personalities and the person of the members itself or the idols, but also all other IPs that they've built around it. For example, for BTS, BT21, Tiny Tan, Bangtan Universe, Wayang Yonhwa, um, Seven Fates Chakos, those are all IPs. So anybody who's licensing those IPs, that's a revenue source. But so far, only Hybe and Big Hit have been able to master the management of those IPs. So other groups, they're still very much reliant on their concerts, album sales, brand deals. Okay, so for the big pictures in the SOM, yeah, including that in the SOM. Now, for the big pictures, the ETF, Samsung ETF, is Korea institutionalizing the belief that K culture is no longer a trend. It's here to stay. They think it's here to stay. It is an economic engine in and of itself. So they see global growth, international demand, expanding distribution channels, multi sector monetization, and a shortage of financial instruments that capture this momentum. So Samsung made one. Again, their point is that we need to be able to capture all revenue sources that are using K culture. And the wake up call was because of K-pop Demon Hunters, because the only company that's benefiting so far is Netflix. No other Korean company is benefiting from that trend. At least for BTS, it's also a Korean company that's benefiting from it. Plus, of course, BTS themselves. But for K-pop Demon Hunters, no one else is benefiting from it. So they're saying, okay, that's why we started this ETF, so that we can invest in those companies. Then we benefit from them benefiting from Korean companies. But interesting, at least for me, is the difference in strategy. I'm not saying that Samsung is not going to invest in anything else, but at least in my from where I am, it's interesting that Hybe took a different route. Instead of simply investing and opening an ETF, they said, nope, we're going to plant ourselves in all of these markets, start producing content that is based in Korea, or at least Korean culture, and then distribute it across the globe so that the money will come back. All the money will come back to South Korea. Two different strategies. Interesting, right? So you choose which one you want to invest in. Okay. Do you have questions? Would the seven's mother agree with this BTS being mentioned so much in ETF presentation? Oh, 17's mother. Uh, was 17 mentioned? 17 was not mentioned. The only groups that were mentioned specifically were Cat's Eye and BTS, and then the rest they were lumped into being mentioned as K-pop. It would also be interesting because I think Big Hit is spearheading the entrance to the, thank you very much, CNP family, thank you. I think Big Hit is spearheading the entrance to the Gen Z and Gen Alpha market through Cortis. One of the things that I've come to realize as I was studying the content of Cortis is that the generational gap between me and Cortis is so huge because I'm ancient. I should be a fertilizer by now if I'm in the Philippines. My aunties would probably bury me 6 feet below the ground so I can start decomposing and becoming an organic, what do you call that? An organic fertilizer for their orchids. But so the generation gap is so different that many are missing the strategy that Big Hit actually is preparing for the future. Um, the the sound is so different. The approach is so different. The even even the language of the five boys are so different that it feels like how it was when BTS started, that it was so removed from from the mainstream market at that time. If you would remember when they were starting Wayang Yonhwa, people did not understand what it was. Like, what is this? Why are people getting clues from the music videos? Why are they putting this together? Nobody understands the highlight reel. Why is there a book? Now there's a manhwa. Now there's a drama. Nobody could understand all of those things. And it's primarily because it's one era, it's one generation, it's another chapter that BTS was opening. And to a certain degree, that's what Big Hit is sort of learned from BTS. That if you want to prepare for the future, you're gonna have to be in the future before everyone else. And that's what they're doing with Cortis. They're already in the Cortis is already in the future. That's why they get criticized a lot by old people because no one understands what they are doing. Well, you won't understand because they're doing it for the future, not for us. So I think that's what's interesting. It would be interesting again to watch the journey of Cortis because I would want to like understand how they're doing it. Like what is this new generation? Um okay, she said, sobra ka naman, Fairy Kung fertilizer ka, edi ano naman kami. She said, you're exaggerating, Fairy Lane. If you're a fertilizer, then what are we? That's what she said. What, I'm older and I get Cortis. Oh my, Fairy, you're hilarious. I'm a core. Yes, I'm a core. I my guess is that it's Bangshi who chose that name. What, we locked out an army actually. We locked out an armies. I think we have the best fandom name. And then all the other fandom names after that was just I feel sorry for these people. um this new generation is weirding me out too. It's different. It would be interesting to see what it is that they are preparing for. I don't think that Cortis themselves, no, like they I don't think they can articulate the exact strategy. I think they will be able to articulate it after the fact. And I think that is one of the defining feature of this new generation that is coming in. I don't think that they are the kind that has like a plan and would know exactly how to do it. I think this generation is kind of winging it to a certain degree. If Fairlane is a fertilizer, I'm a fossil. I'm telling you, if I go home to the Philippines, that's the thing that my aunties are going to tell me. Why? What are you doing? Why are you? Let's bury you 6 feet under the ground. At least you're. I'm a healthy eater, so I'm a very good fertilizer. We're going to turn you into a fertilizer for our orchids. Come here. Then you'll be useful. um, we could have been bells. Okay. Any questions? I'm definitely with you. Cortis is a great group. I'm so thrilled by their success. They are going to they're going to get a lot of heat, primarily because when you are successful, then you become a target for many people. The mere fact that they are a group under BTS, I mean under the company, same company as BTS, that already attracts many haters. So I hope that they have a very good emotional mental support in the company, because they're going to get targeted a lot. Also, the success that they are, the trajectory of their success is really global. A lot, they have more international fans that get what they are doing and like what they are doing than local fans. No fertilizer, fairly. Yes, they work hard, but you can tell me Cortis ain't using some of BTS strength to succeed. Oh no, for sure. For sure. And they themselves, to Cortis's credit, they admit it. I mean, they acknowledge, they're fully acknowledging, fully aware of the fact that, oh, thank you, newbie love of BTS. It took me a bit to enjoy and like Cortis, though now I love their music. It makes me feel young. No, for sure. They themselves are, they are aware, they acknowledge that they benefit from BTS. They benefit from the name of BTS. They benefit from the network and resources and money that BTS has. I mean, the most practical way of looking at it would be, is faster for Big Hit's phone call to be answered by producers that they want to work with because of BTS, right? So, dial that phone number and a producer realizes, oh, Big Hit, this is the same company of BTS. Okay, count me in. I'll be there tomorrow. If this is a smaller company, well, I have 1.5 years of wait time. Go ahead and be on, just put your name on the list. So that's the most practical. And then you have the resources that's already been built in, like the networks, PR companies, the money itself, the resources, the building that they have. So all of those things, yes, they benefit, and they themselves are very much acknowledging that. They're very, very appreciative of it. But if they don't work hard, no amount of resource, no amount of network will ever, and if they're not talented enough, will ever benefit them, right? We've seen that happen. There's so many groups out there who inherited the network of their agency, and they're still nubu. So, um, finally watching you live from Australia. I'm enjoying so much your content. Hello, where are you learning about Korean culture? Any formal education? There is, yes. So there is a Korean culture um, foundation here, very close to where I live. So I take classes there. Um, and then I have a strong Korean community who's very supportive of me. And then I do a lot of research on my own. Majority comes from, my first stop would always be my Korean community. I ask questions from them first, and then they're all very busy. They're all professionals. Unfortunately, none of them are bombs, so they all work. So they're busy. I would usually ask them a question. They'll give me enough of a response to know where I should be taking my next phase of research. It's either in that Korean culture company, it's very close here, or I do my own research here at home. So that's how I learn. And then for the language, I do it the same way RM is doing it. I would first watch a drama with subtitles. watch it without subtitles, watch it again with subtitles, watch it again without subtitles. That's it. And then just my friends, sometimes they would speak Korean in front of me. Sometimes they'd ask me a question in Korean, and they will not respond to my answer unless I actually answer in Korean. They don't care if it is broken for as long as they understand what I'm saying. You are very easy to support, though. Love your formative information and personality. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the BTS themed tour. So someone requested that I actually put in more information in what I am talking about, including pricing, pictures, and to actually build day one, day two, day three, day four, day five. So very detailed question and request. So I thought it would be fun. I'm always up to talk about BTS, and I'm always up to talk about traveling. So here it goes. And surprisingly, the majority of the expenses, even before I start this, I can tell you that the majority of the expenses will most likely go to transportation more than the actual venues where you're going to. Okay, so um, Damso Jonghanok Hotel. So the first part would be the things that you should be doing even before you leave South Korea. Okay, sorry, not South Korea, but before you leave your country. When you start planning, I'm gonna open my water. Before you actually start planning. Love that today we are super focused on BTS. Okay, 1 second. Sorry if that was loud. I need to drink my water. I usually have very late lunch, like 2 o'clock, and sometimes I don't eat. I don't drink water right away after eating. So okay, next, if you want, there are different approaches to where you want to stay in South Korea. Usually for us, because we we take the subway when we are in Seoul. Our mode of transportation is usually subway. So we try to stay as close as we can to the subway. Okay. So now the closer you are to the subway, the more expensive it is. But well, that's how it is. And the reason is that because we walk a lot, at the end of the day, when we're close to going home, when all the stress and all the walking comes to us, then we're kind of just, oh my god, we just want to go home and rest. So we have kind of learned that the closer we are to the subway, the entrance and the exit of the subway, the better it is for us. So that's my first tip. If you want easy, if you're going to be using the subway a lot, it would be easier for you to choose a hotel or Airbnb that is closer to the subway. The closer it is, the more expensive it is. Or the other thing is you can go for an experience. For example, Damsojung Hanok Hotel is one great hotel because the design is like a traditional Korean house. So if you kind of want to live in a traditional Korean house, this is one location for you to go. It's a little bit more pricey than other hotels, but you're there for the experience. Or maybe like what we have done before, um, usually would go, like for example, we do Seoul, and then we do Busan, we do the other provinces, and then our last day or last 2 days in Seoul, Korea, we would check in here, um, or in a location that is kind of like ideal, just because we want to sort of just enjoy the place. Okay, so would you do this tour at the beginning of the BTS tour or during the encore concert? I, if it were my preference is to do this after the tour, after their encore. Sorry, in the beginning of their tour. That is my preference. Okay. Um, Primarily because I want to watch their kickoff. Since I'm already in Korea, might as well do that. Okay, so that's one option for you. You can check in a like a hotel where there is an experience, and you can check in for the entire stay, your stay in South Korea, or check in the last 2 3 days, just so you can experience living there. Okay, move to a different hotel. Okay, next. So that's one thing you need to think about even before you leave. Now, so for is this it? 1 second. I think I skipped something. 1 second. I think I didn't put it. Other things that you need to think about. Okay, you need to rent even before you leave your country. You need to rent a local SIM or a pocket Wi-Fi. Their internet in South Korea is 10 times faster than the internet in the US, and there is internet everywhere, even in the subway. We used to rent a pocket Wi-Fi, but we've come to realize that it's actually easier. It would be more beneficial for us if if we rent a SIM. You just need a phone where you can use the SIM, because that there are some restaurants that require you to enter your phone number, and then they will just call you when your table is ready. So that allows you to actually go around first while you're waiting for the reservation and whatever. And then of course for delivery, you can get anything delivered in the US. You need a phone number. So that actually is a better option for us. We used to just rent a pocket Wi-Fi, but I think next time we're gonna go and rent a SIM card. So there are Klook. You can actually rent through Klook, Agoda, different apps. There's so many, but get a pocket Wi-Fi or SIM. Um, US iPhone, you can, as I've said, you can do that as well, primarily because the internet is so fast and there is internet everywhere, even in the bus. If you're in the bus, you can just connect to it. So the first, like, there's no location where there is no internet. It's just that for us, because we're using subways, we're using there's so many things, so it's beneficial for just, and of course where I'm working, whenever I travel, it's just beneficial for me to have like a local SIM. I can do more things. That's just me. So if you're okay, if you don't do a lot of communications and whatever, then using your local phone is okay. Okay. You can also get an eSIM, correct? Yeah, there's a lot of options. So just go to Klook is where we usually get our reservations. Okay, next. You pick it up in the airport. They'll set it up for you. You're good to go from that from as soon as you get your SIM. The other thing is, as I've mentioned in the beginning, in your immigration card, make sure that you manually write BTS so that they know you're there for BTS. So, not a necessity, but it would be a good place to have. Next is depending on what is the season you're going. In, if it is winter, make sure that you have cold packs, disposable ones, the one that you break and then it's just hot. If it is summer, make sure that you have sorry, if it is summer, make sure that you have cold packs. If it is winter, then make sure you have packs. You can buy it there. They do have a lot of convenience store that sells those. I usually bring a box, and then if it's not enough, then I buy it from there. Okay. That is it for your preparation. Immigration form, rent a SIM, download Papago and Naver Maps. Naver is more accurate than Google Maps. So Naver Maps, Papago, because that's your translator. It's gonna get you through some of the basic things, and then um, okay, so once you arrive, make sure that you already know how to get to your hotel or Airbnb. There's subway, the train, or you can take the taxi or you take the bus. Taxi is so expensive. Just take the bus. Usually, bus will take you close to your hotel or the subway. Okay. Now, once you land, I was told to go in the fall. That the fall is breathtaking. Oh yeah, the best one that I've had. I've been to Korea in all four seasons. Fall is my favorite. But then I can choose when BTS is going to do their activities. So I use my international plan when I travel overseas. Yeah, it's just not enough for me. You absolutely can, especially in Korea. As I've said, there is internet connection anywhere. You go to the bus, you'll see you can actually connect to their Wi-Fi. There's not a problem, but just for me, because as I've said, we like traveling like locals. We take the subway. Then we need local utilities. Okay. Okay. So from there, my suggestion would be day one. When you land, almost always there's really not much you can do, right? Because go from sometimes you land there late afternoon, check in the hotel, freshen up. You'll probably be able to do like, and then you're tired from traveling the entire day. So you'll probably do like dinner, probably Myeongdong. So your first full day. This is assuming this is your first full day. Day one morning until noon, you can actually do the ancient BTS tour, meaning all the places that they've been that is related to them during their rookie years, trainee up to rookie years. So the old big hit office, first BTS dorm, second BTS dorm, and the restaurant they frequented when they were trainees, which is the Yujong Shikdang. That is all in one area. So you go there in the morning, depending on what time you go there. You go there in the morning. I usually suggest you go to the old Big Hit office, the very first dorm, and then you eat in the restaurant. Okay. Because, so this is the old Big Hit dorm. There's a lot of vandals in there, a lot of armies that are writing on the wall. And I think the owner is just letting it happen. I know the owner is a celebrity, but the building is being used. Like there are tenants in that office. And so you have to be careful and you have to be very, very respectful. So you can't lounge around and hang around there for like an hour, maybe 5 minutes, and that's a stretch. So what I did was like just go around, read a few of the things that armies were leaving there, take some pictures, but people are actually using the building. So we were there for maybe maximum 10 minutes, maybe five. So we walked there, take some pictures. My mom read some stuff. Um, just imagine some things, them walking in the area, and then moved on because it is being used by someone else. And then this is their very first dormitory, about 5 minute walk from their office, maybe less. Again, it's being used by actual residents in that building, so you can't lounge around too much. We took some pictures and then we moved on. So I just tried before I went here. I actually looked at some of the videos of BTS during their ancient years, just as so I could match, right? I can take pictures and match the angle of what I saw, then moved on. So I usually don't spend like 10 minutes more than 10 minutes in that area, in these two first areas. Now, after the BTS first visit, we went to the second dormitory, which is very close to the first dormitory. They call this the Blue House. So, and this is actually very close to the Hakdang Park where RM wrote some of the lyrics in their songs. So from the first dormitory to the second dormitory, you can actually walk there as well. Now, depending on what time you wake up, but my target always is to get to the restaurant but when it opens, which is around 10:30. Primarily because I want to avoid the rush. Because if I go there lunchtime or dinner time, or even like anywhere between 12 to 4, the people, or between 12 to 7, people are just I'm gonna have to wait hours, which I'm not willing to do. So I usually go there early morning. So then that's done for me. At least that stop is done for me. Okay, and then people are asking for the prices. So when they serve you, there's a lot of stuff that they give you, all the side dishes and stuff. It's very affordable. This is the pricing. So 12,001, 10,001. They really haven't increased their price all that much. So it's still very affordable. You can probably, and I don't usually order drinks. I usually have my own water with me. So that is, and so usually get some getang. You wrote your name. um, I don't know if you, I didn't know you couldn't write on the walls though. I did one around 7 p.m. though. The office was closed at that time. Okay, so it's very affordable. You can probably like spend $15, $20, $25, but very, very affordable. what I want to do next time, because all the times I've been there, I actually don't give anything to the owner, but a lot of fans would actually give something to the owner to give away to other armies. So it could be cup sleeves or photo cards, and then the owners would actually just give it to anybody who eats that day. They're like, oh, do you want like a photo card here, or do you want something, whatever. So I want to give something to the store owner so that she can give it away to other armies. But I also wouldn't suggest that you stay here long. Eat your food, take some pictures, and then go, because others are going to be waiting. If you go there early enough, then you can sort of take your time for as long as you're conscious and you know that there aren't a lot of people waiting. But if you, I usually try to be out of there by 12, because that's when people start coming in. So as I've said, I do like 10:30 when they open. I'm there, so I'm done with that place. Also, when there aren't a lot of people, then I can take my time taking pictures, because it changes, because there's a lot more people coming in giving pictures. So the pictures, the walls actually change. The pictures on the walls and posters on the walls are actually changing. So that by 12 o'clock you're done with this first part. 12 o'clock, done, if you do it right. Now I know that some people are not early risers, and so when there are people, I haven't really traveled with a big group, but usually to me it's like, okay, this is the set time. If you're not available, then you just catch up. Okay. As Fairlane suggested at the beginning of the video, block and move on. Oh yeah, just block and move on. Okay. Jungmin J Critic, block and move on, block and move on. Okay, so after that, you can have your dessert and coffee. I usually like having coffee after my meal. You can do it in the Yuga Cafe, which is their third dormitory. This is their third dormitory. So they converted it into a cafe. You can go there, have your coffee, have your dessert. So you'll probably spend about $25 depending on what you're going to be ordering. So this is the dormitory where Jungkook had his own room in the basement. It's not really a basement, in the basement, and then the rest they shared their rooms. And this is that part when Jin, I think, wore the hanbok for the music show, and he was actually shown. Sorry, not music show. It was airport. I think they were going to the airport, so they actually showed him exiting the house, getting into the car, and the rest of the BTS members like, where is he? Where is he? So that's the place. It obviously has changed so much. The coffee was out of this world, and the pastries were great. I love pastries, so that is good for me. There are, you can also give some things to the staff there so that they can give it away to other armies, but they give you post-it notes, and then you can write in that post-it notes, stick it on the wall. That I think they did that to avoid armies vandalizing the walls. So be respectful. You can write as many things as you want in there. So in the rooms of the second floor, third floor, and fourth floor, there are tables in there in what used to be the rooms of BTS. So you can stay there if you want, or you can stay in the the ground floor. Um, yeah, so you can spend like an hour and a half there, maybe an hour, if you have other things to do. So after that, then you can head to the Gyeokbonggong Palace. This is the big palace that they have. Very close to that area is the Bokchon Hanok walking tour, where a lot of the Hanok houses are. You can walk in that area, and then you can end your day in the restaurant of Jin's brother. The actual palace is going to take some time. So you're probably going to burn whatever it is that you ate in the restaurant, and then so you're ready for dinner. So this is easy. You can burn like 4 hours in this area if you're going to really take your time, if you're not going to rush. It can be 1 hour if you're going to rush, but if not, we stayed for about 3 hours in the area. So you can, if you just enter and not wear a handbook, it's about $5, I believe, maybe less. You're exhausted already. Um, so you can, or you can rent a handbook. It's a minute. It's outside of the palace, but it's a very short walk. It's like 1 minute. If you take your time, probably three. But you're gonna be really walking around the area wearing a handbook. They put it on your dress, so you're not. They're not gonna ask you to take off your dress. They're going to put it on your dress, so you're still wearing whatever it is that you're wearing, and then the handbook over it. So this is the pricing. This is the pricing from the biggest, the most popular hanbok place. But there are a lot. This is not the only place there. When we first went here, there were so many people. I was so irritated. I don't like people. No, I'm kidding. I don't like I don't like crowd where I have to push myself in. So we just look for another place. So I think we rented the amount was like $30 for us, and we rented it for 4 hours. Sorry, we rented it for three, and then they said it's okay because they'll ask for your card, they'll hold it, and then that's your kind of deposit. So if you return and you return like more than 4 hours later, then they're just gonna charge you the whole day for the whole day. So $40, $30, I think, is what we paid because we stayed for like 3 hours. We made the most out of the handbook, and we had our hair done, but we kept our shoes. I need comfortable shoes, so I was wearing my sneakers, my walking shoes for the day, and then but we got our hair done, left our card, went inside the palace, less well maybe 2 minutes walk, and because I was too with an Instagram addicted cousin, my niece, uh, we were taking a lot of pictures. So yeah, we stayed there for about 2.5 hours, including rest. So we would sit down, rest, then walk around again. I do like taking in the place because I don't want to go back. So I want to make sure that I actually see every nook and cranny of a place. So I was there for 3 hours, took my time, sit down if I needed to, and then leave. You can just right outside, you can go into the Hanok village, and still wearing the hanbok. You can go around wearing the Hanok village. And that took us like 30 minutes maybe. This is like one of the areas where you can stay. Um, you can also just enter not wearing a hanbok, and it's gonna cost you less than $5. So that's also an option for you. But it's a beautiful, beautiful place. It would be nice, Bukchon Hanok Village. It would be nice if you can go during spring or during fall. It's really beautiful, and the weather is ideal. And the Hanok Village, just make the one thing that you need to think about, to remember when you are going to South Korea, is that it's a hilly country. So there's a lot of up and down. So you do need to be prepared to walk a lot. And like even older people, older than I am, they would actually like climb 9 flights of stairs. I don't know how they do it. I die if I do that. But they do it. So usually, because my mom is a little older, then we just take our time. Like if we need to go up the stairs, we just take our time. It's just like, okay, let's take, if it needs 1 hour to get to the top, then we'll take 1 hour to get to the top. But the Hanok village is a good walk, so you'll probably 30 minutes, an hour, again, because I am the type of person who likes looking at everything because I don't want to go back. Then I spend quite some time in every place that we go. And then you can end your day at the restaurant of Jin's brother. I have not been to the new one. I've been to the old one. And it's a Japanese restaurant. Super great. The food is great. How is the weather in the beginning of May? Beginning of May is not so bad. The season seems to be changing, right? It's getting pushed. But the first time we went there, but it's still good. If you go there June, August, September, oh my God, that's when the last time I went there, it was summer, and I got sick. I was sick 3/4 of the time. So we were there for 3 weeks. I was sick for about 16 days. The rest of the time I was recovering, only to get sick again. The heat is not for me, but May, that's still good. Still good. The Ajumas go mountain climbing and are in great shape. Yeah, because the country is gonna force you to walk. It's gonna force you to walk. Okay, so now, the other thing, yeah. So someone mentioned the international debit card. So one of the things that you should do, not can do, but you should do, especially if you're going to be riding the subway, and the buses is to get a T card, the T money, which is their debit card, and you use that for transportation as well, for their metro card, for their subway, for their trains, and also for their buses. So you need to get that, and you can use that as a debit card. So if you go to a restaurant, you can give that to them. You can load money in different convenience stores, in different train stations, and banks. And then for the exchange rate, usually I make sure that I have enough one just to get me through a day. So as soon as I land, I make sure I have enough money. But I usually go to Myeongdong to exchange money. That's what I do. So if I am not going to Myeongdong within the first 2 days or first 3 days, then I make sure I have enough for how many days I need up until I go to Myeongdong. Um, or then T money is good, but you need T money for sure. Okay, so you end your day here in this restaurant, and then you can have yours. You can have some drinks here. It's great. So, but I've never been to the new one. I've been to the old one. Okay, and then if you have enough energy, then you can actually. I believe this is in the old restaurant, but if you have enough energy after the restaurant, you can go to Myeongdong. Just walk around. It's a lot of people, but there's a lot of great street food and a lot of beauty stores there. So you'll get a lot of like free face mask. You'll get a lot of free of those. But lots of great street food. So if you have enough energy just to see Myeongdong, you can go there. If you don't, you can go home, and then you can go to your hotel or Airbnb and then start for the next day. Do some places take cash only? Yes. So well, not really. Almost all places will take a card. But in Myeongdong, if you don't want to pay tax, then pay in cash. So I usually, yes. So that's the answer to your question. Where do you exchange money? Myeongdong. That's where I exchange money. Yeah, I've found, just based on experience, for how many times going to South Korea, that's still the best place to exchange my money. Now, I know a lot of people would shop in Myeongdong. There is another shopping place that we go to, that even locals go to. It's in Central Terminal. And that place actually encourage you to pay in cash. They will accept your card, but you're gonna have to pay taxes, so it's more expensive. And then a lot of their sale, like, I bought a lot of great hoodies and shirts and pants. Those things, if you want to get it for like $10, when I was there, like $7, $8, I would get them for those, but I need to pay in cash. They will accept your card, but you're gonna have to pay the taxes. Okay. Um, Now, do some places take only cash? I've answered that. So, okay, so you can end your day there, or you can go to Myeongdong if you have enough energy. If you don't, you can go to your hotel, you can go to your Airbnb, um, and then you can rest. Okay, and go and start for the next and get ready for the next day. So the trainee restaurant, you'll probably spend maximum of 25, unless you're gonna go party. I don't know, but it's a lot. The serving is a lot. The dorm to cafe, that's the third dorm that they had that was converted into a cafe, probably $20, like 12 pastries, 10, some are 8, and then your coffee or smoothie, whatever it is that you want. The handbook is about 25. The cheapest one is 25. You can go party and go buy rent the premium. It's going to be about 60, but if you're trying to be wise with your money, just choose the 25, the cheapest one. And then the restaurant of Jin, it's actually $70 for 3 people, about 65 or something like that, plus taxes. You can pay in card, so that's about $70. So about 25 per person. Now, if there's only the two of you, then you just split it. So when my niece and I went, it was just the two of us. So we split the $65 or something. No, sorry. Yeah. If you split it, then it would be about $35 per person. Okay. So that's your expense for the first day. These are good prices, very good prices. A lot of the places that you're going to go to, I mean, the National Museum of Korea is free. So it's really not it's the places that you're gonna go to is not the biggest expense. Okay, so that's your first day. You're done with your first day. You've covered a lot. Now you go to your second day. The Hakdong part that I was talking about, this is actually very close to their dorm. So if you have time, you can swing by. Absolutely, you can swing by. You can put this in first day. And then you go to the Dongjak Bridge, which is where they shot Love Yourself. And whenever they take pictures, BTS, whenever they take pictures of them running in a bridge, this is the bridge that they're talking about. This is, it crosses the Han River. Okay, so these are all free. Hangok Park is free. Bridge is free. And then after that, you can go to the cafe of RM's sister, Cafe Farben. Now, you do need to pay for that. High building, you can't stay for a long time there because it's an office area. You can't go in either. You can just take pictures from the outside. You can go to the National Museum of Korea after. Then take your time. We took our time here. We actually spent like 4 hours inside the National Museum of Korea. There is a place for you to eat inside. And then birthplace of BT21 in line store Itaewon. So it's very important. There's a lot of line stores that you can go to. Um, but good night, Bang Luna. So you can go to a lot of you can go to a lot of BT21, but the birthplace of Itaewon, birthplace of BT21, it's in Itaewon. Okay, so the Hangdok Park is where Suga is where RM and Jimin actually went, and this is the place he talked about where he went to write music, and he said that he was cursing. This is that place. Again, you can come here in the first day if you have the time. Also purchase needs to be more than $15 one, I think. Okay. So, and this is an actual like park for kids. So, um sorry, I meant, do you exchange at a store or a dedicated exchange place? Dedicated exchange place. So there's a lot of money exchange in Myeongdong. That's where I go. Okay, so you can make this your first stop for the next day or include it in the first day. And then after that, so it's free. And then you can go to the Dongjak Bridge. So that's the Dongjak Bridge. And again, whenever they take pictures of them running in the bridge, this is most likely what they're talking about. I know for sure one of the pictures of V he took here. A lot of people actually run in this bridge. And then it's connected to the Han River, so before, after running or whatever, you can go around. You can rent a bike. You can also rent a picnic basket and then choose your spot, have some picnic. So Han River is beautiful. Around Han River, there's a lot of places for you to go as well. Okay, so but if you are there for BTS tour, and there's also a lot of other places for you to go, right? But make sure that you enjoy this. You stay like an hour or 2 hours here. It'll be great. Recreate many of the pictures that they took. Also, a lot of like for example, the RM Forest, Suga Forest, they all have forests here. So you can look for all of those. They usually have benches. So you take a picture there. I think they retired one of the benches of Jimin just this year, I believe. Okay, and then after that, you can go to, there are restaurants, as I've said, in Han River, along Han River, or you can go to Cafe Farben. It is a pastry and coffee shop, so it's not really a place for you to have like lunch, unless it's a light lunch that you're looking for. But you can go there after, and then you'll spend about $20. And then I feel like I would need to run at Han River to get my K drama experience. You can definitely do some acting there. So just make sure you have some company so that somebody's holding the the camera for you. But there are a lot of like bloggers that you see like talking to themselves. It's not a weird thing at all. You go to the BT21 Itaewon. Usually there's a lot of people there because it is the birthplace of BT21, the line store there. So you will see a lot of people there. But you have to visit it. That's where BT21 was born. That entire thing, it's in the second floor where they were sitting down, sketching, discussing with the artist, their vision and all of those stuff. That's in Itaewon. Okay, and then after that, you can there is the line store also has a coffee shop inside, and then after that, so this should be like 1 o'clock if you are managing your time right. Like right around 1 o'clock, you should be in the National Museum of Korea. I think you need to register in advance, but it is free as far as I could remember. There is also a restaurant inside. It is big. Take your time, get to know the history of South Korea, ask questions, read. There's so many for you. There's so much for you to learn. So just take your time. And then at the end of the day, there is a restaurant inside, or you can go out and eat. You can recreate the dance. There's a lot of bloggers who would actually recreate the TikTokers there. They recreate the dance right in that spot. So you can do that as well. Or you can just sit around if you want to, if you're tired. But there's a lot of walking because it's a big, 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 big place. And then you can end your day in the restaurant of SUGA, which I haven't been to because it is cheap. But they said that for $15, you're good. So that's your budget for day 2. Okay. Okay. Questions. And then on day 3, you start. This is my proposal. You go to Yongin Daejeonggum Park, which is outside of Seoul. The entrance, I believe, is about $10. This is where they shot Dechita, but they also shot a lot of K-drama here and a lot of other music videos here. Any music video, any drama that has ancient theme, like traditional Korea, this is most likely where they shot it. The entrance to the place is about $10. However, it is outside of Seoul. It is also very close to the other place that they went to, Korean, forgot the name, but this is where they were when they were wearing hanbok and um, they were betraying each other, if you would remember that. This is close to that, to the Yongin Dongjonggung Park. Now it's outside of Korea. There are tours and you can rent for about, there are tours that actually start at $35. But if you're going to customize it so that you can go to the other venue, it's probably going to go up to $65-$70 per person. But it's way better because it's outside of Korea. It's going to take you about an hour, sorry, outside of Seoul, not outside of Korea. It's going to take you about an hour and a half, if you don't take public transportation, to go to that place. So, and then bring you back to Seoul, Korea. But it is way better so that you can take your time. You're not worried about catching the bus or catching the train or whatever. So, might as well get a tour or rent a car. I don't like driving in South Korea because of roads. I'm worried about road signs and whatever. So, might as well just take a tour, a custom tour. So, $60 to $100 per person. Again, take you outside of Korea. There is a cafe on inside this venue on the very top. Remember, it's hilly, so you're gonna have to climb all the way up to get to the restaurant. But the view is breathtaking. Okay, so that's your day 3. And then you can go to other places in Seoul. You can go to Policy Tattoo if you want to get a tattoo. You need to sign up. You need to schedule an appointment way in advance, way, way, way in advance. You can climb the Achasan Mountain, which is where RM and V climbed when they lost in Run BTS. You can go to In the Soup location. You can check in for a day or two. You can actually rent the place. It's Airbnb, or just go for a day tour. And then you can go to Cafe Comtong, which is one of the places they went to when they betrayed each other so much. So here are those places. So this is the Achasan Mountain, if you would remember, when Jin actually cooked for the two. They climbed it. It was, I do want to go there. I haven't been here. This is Cafe Comtong. If you remember this place, when they were betraying each other. Okay. My lower back is killing me listening to the tour. And then day 4, you go to Busan. So you either travel to Busan either on a bus or plane, or you go. I guess you can take the bus. I mean, you can take the bus. Maybe, I don't know. I don't usually take the bus. We usually take the train. But you can check in an Airbnb or in a hotel. When you go to Busan, you're tired. You're probably good for a dinner at the beach, rest dinner at the beach, walk around the beach. There's so many places for you to see along the beach. So that's your day 4. And day 5, take your time, go to Gamchon Cultural Village and the Z Millennial, which is formerly Magni. So Z Millennial, take your time there. Observe. When I went there, I asked a lot of questions. I asked the tenants, who do you pay your rent to? Questions like that. I learned a lot. Okay, I'm nosy. Okay, so and then you go to the Gamchon Cultural Village, which is that place that looks like traditional Korean and stuff. It's a lot of walking in there. Questions: sneakers or summer hikers? Sneakers for me. Sneakers. I probably never go because I don't want to travel by myself. My feet have blisters just listening. This is a lot of walking, but it's such a great place. And so this is the where the mural is of Jimin and Jungkook. They have two, I think, and that's what it looks like from far away, the Gamcheon Cultural Village. So it's gonna take you about, maybe, if you're not rushing, 2 to 3 hours. What we did was, so we went here. After that, we did the sky train, not sky train, but the sky, whatever. Where you sky? What do you call that? Like that place that's hanging on a whatever. So that's what we did, and then we went to the beach to have lunch. Not lunch, but to have dinner. So this in itself, the Gamcheon Cultural Village, there's so many places for you to go, like small stores. You can, Ate, can you share what you learned from where? Oh, from uh, I share a lot on my Patreon. I not here in Patreon and the members only live stream. I'm very nosy. But I keep it to myself. A lot of the things that I learned, I keep to my tram. There you go, the tram. So, I asked like business because I'm interested, like the business and stuff. I'm gonna give away too much of what they do. So inside, like there's like it looks and it is beautiful in there. So take your time, like go to the stores, the shops, and then there are restaurants in there. We actually had lunch there in the Gamcheon Cultural Village. So, and my mom had it, like she liked it so much. The food was really good. And then we walked around. I like walking, so we walked around a little bit more. And then we went to the tram. So that thing that's hanging from a, okay, so you know what I'm talking about. And then we went to the beach. So we went to the beach. We looked for like a place to just rest because everyone was so tired. So we had coffee, and then we went to the beach, walked around a little bit more. And there's a lot of like very beautiful like cafes by the beach. Explore them. Explore. It's so nice just for you to be able to sit down, look at the beach, especially when the air is good, like the best day of your life. And then after that, we close our day by having dinner somewhere along the beach. And then again, one last walk at the beach and then go home. And then day 6, you can actually do a tour, a Hopsan Bamboo Forest, Bulguksa Temple, and the Gyeongju National Museum. And this is the entire day for you. So this is the palace that you are going to visit. You can stay for 1 or 2 hours there. And then this is the bamboo forest. It's coming up, the bamboo forest. That so an hour or two, and then you can go to the National Museum, which is another 3 4 hours if you take your time. That's your day for you. We always ended at the beach. We always love walking at the beach, so we usually bring. You can walk, bring your shoes or whatever, but we usually bring our flip flops. Um, then go back home. So always ended at the beach. And then on your last day, and then you can do this as well. If, by the way, if you want, if you have time, you can do this as well. We did the tram. We didn't do this one, but you can absolutely do this one as well. Okay. And then day 6, you can go around. If you have, day 7, if you have one more day, you can go around the area where Jimin and Jungkook grew up. That's what we did. I told you I'm very nosy, so I ask a lot of questions from people there. The only difficulty is that the Busan Saturi is so different. So even my niece was having a hard time. We just chanced upon some people who actually knew how to speak English. So that was a good thing for us. Good night, Seven Purple, Pearlies. Day 8, traveled to Daegu, and then there's a lot of murals and then some market there. A day or two would be enough for Daegu. But the murals of Suga, there's more murals of Suga than there is of V, because V left Daegu. So I guess, they're more attached to Suga, maybe. I don't know. But the murals of Suga are not endorsed by Big Hit. So, but we still went, we took pictures, but it's not like, because it is not endorsed, it's not as pleasurable, I guess, to visit. We went to all of it. And then we went to two of V, because that's the only ones that we know. So there's a lot of sugar there. Um, but Big Hit said that they are not. And then we went to just the outside, just the outside of the school where Suga went to. And he's not the only idol who went to that school. And then we went to the National Museum, to their art gallery, sorry, their Daegu Museum, and it was about $10, I believe. We spent a lot of time in there. We had lunch in there as well, and that's how we ended our day. We went to the market in Daegu, um, and then yeah. So I think if you have 2 weeks, that's kind of enough for you. You can go back to Seoul one more time, and then just tick off other places that you want to go. But as you can see, the actual expenses per day and to the places that you're going to be visiting, they're cheap. It's not like $150 or whatever. They're very, very cheap. Then museums are free. You can go to Lotte World. I would recommend that. In Lotte, there's a museum on the top floor. So that's another place for you to go. So you can, like, in your last 2 days, if you're staying there for 2 weeks, in your last 2 days, go back to Seoul. Just tick off other places that you want to go back to. Do your shopping. Don't We usually do it in Central Terminal. Pack up and then go, and that's your 2 weeks. It would be nice if you have another week. But if you're going there for a concert, then your 2 week itinerary will be split because you have your concerts to attend to. Are there vegan friendly main dish options at a restaurant? Not a lot. Not a lot. Um, they are, you can, but you won't be able to. You will have to go to specific restaurants for that, and you will sacrifice a lot of the, like, the traditional dishes that we went. Do you know those tent in Korean dramas? There are like a Juma tent that goes up at night. You won't be able to go there. Though I don't eat beef or pork, I eat chicken, fish, but I went around just fine. I was able to go to all of those places. When my niece goes to Korean barbecue, usually their Korean barbecue is just pork and beef, pork or beef. There's not a lot of Korean barbecue places. We have never been to a Korean barbecue place where there is chicken. So what I would usually do is have ramen. So she gets my serving of beef and I get ramen. That's it. I'm happy with ramen. And at least she has company. So do you have a picture of the Temuro? Yes, I'll put it. Sorry, I did not put it here. I will put it in. Do I have a picture without me in it? Yeah, I guess so. I do have a picture without me in it. There were, I think, only two that we know of. I'll put it in Patreon. But I did discuss a little bit of what I learned about the Jimin place, the Jimin Cafe. Uh, but yeah, I'm just really naturally nosy. Like, even the only thing is that if you're gonna go around the area where Jimin and Jungkook grew up in, it's province. It's really very, very country. So, and also people live there, so you can't like lounge around. You have to move, and if you want to stay in one place, you have to have a purpose for staying there, official purpose for staying there. So yeah, but the communication is going to be a problem because they don't. There's not a lot of people who speaks English. We locked out because there was someone who was speaking English when we went there. So we just walked around just to see, like, oh, this is their life, but it's going to give you an idea on how they grew up. It's like, oh my god, this is their school. So yeah, one single question: when can I book my trip with Fear the SK Travel Group? Well, that depends on when BTS is going to when they're going to do their tour. And of course, I want to have a ticket. I want to buy a ticket. So just buy good shoes, good pairs of shoes. I would suggest, like, if there is a tour like this, you don't have to join all the places, right? If you think you would rather sit out the day and rest so that you can recover for another day, do that. Also utilize the their massages. It's good. That's one I did not include here, like their spas, but they're really good. Yeah, and then even during the day, if you feel like, okay, I can't do the last one anymore, I'm tired, go home. It's better to just rest for the day than miss out on the rest of your tour. So okay. He was so nice. His grandfather was there too. I think at one point he was talking to Jimin because he was saying over the phone, Jimin, I died that day. Yeah, the Z Millennial, of all the cafes I've been to, the best one is the Z Millennial. I'm not being biased. I really love their coffee. I'm a coffee person. So I really love their coffee. But the best samgyetang I've ever tried is that of their old dormitory, the old restaurant, the restaurant that they often went to when they were trainees. That's the best samgyetang I've ever tasted. But the restaurant of the brother of Jin, and then the Cafe Farben is so unique. But yeah, so a lot of the money that you're gonna have to save will be for transportation. I know that some of you have trouble like walking around, so maybe renting a van would be better, or a bus or something like that. But otherwise, subway. I have not been to Jeju. I've not been to Jeju, but I heard that it's kind of the same like Busan. It's better to have a car if you're going to go to other places, like different places and stuff. There's so much more to do in Seoul that I haven't been able to do. I definitely want to climb the Achasan mountain. I want to hike that. I want to go to Jeju and do Halasan mountain. So, oh my God, that's such a great experience. Okay. Do you have questions before I go? The art museums are really good. I went to most RM approved art museums and I had a blast. Yeah, I've been to almost all art museums that RM went to as well. When we went for a trip, and my niece went to some like stray kids activities. I actually went to different museums. Okay, do you have questions before I go? Was that helpful? Was that tour helpful? Do you have questions? Thank you so much, Fairlane. Go to the mountain hill climb. Halas, and that's in Jeju. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving. Giving again. I'm grateful for all of you. I will do a save a survey if you want me to do Friday, or just reschedule it another day. Either way, I am good. Okay. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving. Tips for getting a concert ticket in SK. A lot of luck. Uh, I don't know. That one I have no tip. Okay, let me research. Okay, bye bye.